Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody had a great day. How about that SMCI? I mean, was that not perfectly played? I'm telling you, the stock charts don't lie. When they look that good and they're set up, you know something's going to happen. I've been saying, hey, they're probably going to announce that they have a new auditor and they're definitely going to become compliant because there's no way this company's not going to, especially with a chart that looks like that. So I hope everybody took advantage of that one because it is wild right now. As a matter of fact, we're just going to start out with it right now. SMCI. First, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. Always do your due diligence. And here we go. Like I said, SMCI. Wow, it's up over to like $30. I think 29.50 right now, but it shot up like a crazy person. I don't even know what I just knocked over, but I knocked something over. That was cool. Anyway, but yeah, it just shot up. I'm all fired up from SMCI. This is all fired up as well. But I'll tell you a better one than SMCI right now. And I'm telling you, we went over this morning, I mean, check out SMCX because that's the ETF, the target 2 time long, and that thing's up over 73%. It went from what, $22 and it's up over 44 right now. And Luis Rodriguez brought this one up this morning, and I'm telling you, the guy has an eye for these poppers, and this one just curled up. And you know what's I've been saying, and we talk about the fact that these ETFs they run 2 times, some are 3 times, and man, this option is going to be insane tomorrow. So I hope everybody got one of them. I'm sure Luis Rodriguez did, and we'll be posting what they look like tomorrow because they're going to be wild. So it did have that split today, and I wasn't sure what the split price was. I just didn't know this morning at 7 a.m. It was just kind of confusing. But once it opened up, you just knew what was going on. And bam, that thing is just set up and ready to go through the moon. It was only up 5 hours, but it's up over 18 in the after hours. So that was a great one as well. And yeah, and then somebody just posted a great question I was going to check out. Let me see if I can find it real quick. What was it? If I had to pick between MSTU and MSTR, and this was the white shoot, which has a higher return going forward with Bitcoin, or shall I just get both? Good call, by the way, by SMCL. Oh, well, I sold at night, but whatever, not about that. But it's about the MSTU or the MSTR. And we're going to jump right into that real quick and check it out. MSTU is the obviously the ETF, the long, and they're both up in the top right now for MicroStrategy. This is the ETF. And again, this is just going to piggyback off of what we were just talking about with SMCI and SMCX. These ETFs, honestly, are just insane. They run 2 times. The only thing you have to worry is they split every so often. I guess they have to. I don't know what the heck they do, but they do reverse split every once in a while. This one's fairly new, but that's the only thing you do have to pay attention with it. I don't know if it really affects it that much if they're that far up. I'm not even sure if they really do it. But again, the M or SMCX just split this morning, as a matter of fact. And again, they just do split. I don't know how often it is. I'll have to look it up or if somebody knows. But I know like Boyle does it. That's an ETF. I just know that they split. So I'm not exactly sure what the rule is for that. I'll have to look into that. I have no idea. But that's the only thing you have to pay attention with. And again, if you're buying shares or options, it's going to be different as well. But you're going to have that expiration date, so you're going to want to hit it before it even splits anyway, and then probably buy another one and ride it up. If you're going to go that long, I would say you're going to have to probably buy the actual option on the actual like SMCI and just go super long on that. I don't know if I'd go that long on an ETF. So short term ETF, you're going to crush it. It's going to be 2 times more. Some are 3 times. And then long term, I think you're going to have to do the actual stock SMCI, either buy the shares or the option very far out, and then not worry about the whole reverse split thing or the splitting with the ETFs. I think ETFs are more of a short term thing. And I'm telling you, when you can read the charts like we're doing, these ETFs are insane. You have to take advantage of them because they're like ATM machines right now. I mean, I'm telling you that SMCX is going to be insane tomorrow, and it's going to be way higher than the SMCI. That's for sure. So here we go. Let's get cruising. I just wanted to look into that, and again, SMCI is flying up there. AZI, FU. We looked at that. APLD last night. Couple crypto ones. I mean, there's just a ton of them popping up. You just pick the best ones that you're confident in. You can tell which ones are flying. We're making it pretty clear here. And yeah, you just and then just ride them up and get out of them. Just trade them smart. It's the whole thing you have to do. And again, I'm not a financial guy, and all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence, but you can tell you can rock and roll this market right now, and we're going to do it for a long time. And even on the pullbacks, we're going to be fine because the options are going to be good. And I'm feeling really confident with them now. So I'm definitely going to put a video together. I just didn't really know what the hell I was even doing. I'm not going to lie. It's not something I ever was into. I explained it before. I won't waste much time on it right now. But I've always mainly did the penny stocks and crushed them for over 100%. But these options are just wild and they're way better. You don't even have to put up as much money, and you put up very few considering comparable to like penny stocks and what you're going to make in the returns because of the leverage. And each option's 100 stocks or shares. And yeah, you use that leverage to your advantage. And if you can look at the charts like we're doing, like SMCI and SMCX, they're going to be cash registers tomorrow. I mean, they're going to be crazy. And you know how many people are going to be jumping in them tomorrow? The volume is going to be wild. And yeah, we were way ahead of it just from the stock chart. I mean, you look at this thing and it's beautiful. It's going flying through the roof right now. So let's get through our list right here. And it's just exciting because we just another one. I mean, we called perfectly. It's just, I mean, one after another elections and assassination attempts and bankrupt companies and then compliant companies on the other hand, like SMCI. We've called Big Lots going out of business the week before they even announced it. Save, SAVE. We were saying that one before they started to announce it. They just announced bankruptcy. And we've called a few other ones. And I'm telling you, Walmart, or not Walmart, Walgreens better get it together. They're going to end up on that list too. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy. We point out everything. We just go through the whole market, and then crypto's a whole nother animal too. Trading that, these altcoins are starting to fly. I posted a few of them today that are starting to move. That H bar we went over last night, that went bananas. So I mean, it's just nonstop craziness right here. And like I was saying it back in the summertime. Around Halloween, it would get good. Thanksgiving, it's going to be great. And then by Christmas and New Year, it's going to be amazing. And I think you can see we're heading in that direction. That's for sure. And the call options for SMCI were up 300% before the market closed. In the after hours, they're probably between 800 and 1,000% when the market opens tomorrow. So there you go. And Matt said, "How bad will I have crushed? Been crushed on? I'm not sure. Did you do a call or a put? But if you did a call option, you're in great shape. If you tried to short that bad boy, you're going to be in trouble. So and there you go. Let's get rolling through our list here and see what's happening for tomorrow besides SMCI because it is great. But ELAB, let's look at this. It didn't look bad today at all. It was jumping around a little bit. It mainly stayed green, which was a good sign. It kind of opened and closed right around the same price, but it's fine. It was just flat there. A little tiny pullback in the after hours, had like 287 million in volume. I'm going to just look at it and see what it did in the after hours. And I'm telling you, watch ELAB tomorrow to start moving. It is curling up. It looked good to me today. I said it looked good, and I'm going to give it the old asterisk right there tomorrow for tomorrow because it looks like it wants to get moving, guys. And it never looked bad Even last week, on Friday, everything pulled back. I wasn't worried about it, even going into the weekend. And I said it Sunday night, last night. I had a good feeling that things would probably open up pretty green and rebound, and they did. And yeah, this one's looking pretty good. I think it's going to be solid tomorrow, and I think the market should be pretty solid, especially with that SMCI news. And we'll look at NVIDIA. They have their earnings Wednesday, and they've carried the market for a long time. Tesla made everything basically green today, and all it takes is NVIDIA to just say that they're going to do something good, and the whole market will be super green. So. Let's rock and roll here. ELAB looking good for tomorrow. XTIA, let's see what that looks like. It did have a little pullback today. It could have been the little dip and rip. It's not looking like it wants to go crazy down, so it did come down to 4 cents. I'd have to see what it did in the after hours. I never looked at it. And another one, I really think it's going to start curling up here. I think you had a little dip and rip situation, and it wanted to get moving, obviously, back there on Friday, and it just couldn't do it. It did run up, and then it came down immediately and pulled back, but it still wants to get rolling. It never got out of the basement. It had to stair step back up, and I think it's going to have to get cruising there. So. And DJT did pop today. It came down a little bit in the after hours, but they they're gonna buy that BKKT. We'll go through that in a little bit. But yeah, they that one definitely set up and looks great to get popping. So you're gonna want to look at options on that DJT, but we'll look at that. But XTIA, like I said, doesn't look bad at all. ELAB looks a little better for tomorrow, but I have a feeling XTIA is going to be setting up as well. And that SVMH, it did go up a little bit today. And I'm telling you, keep your eye on this one for tomorrow because this one's setting up and it's looking really good to get moving. So just keep your eye because it looks like it wants to pop up. It was up over 15% at one point and it's looking really good there, SVMH. So you want to look at that. And of course, our NMHI, the Nature's Miracle. And this one is it curled through and it's bouncing back down on that line. Almost looks like it was making a base. I have to see what it did in the after hours. It did curl through, but it doesn't look too bad. I have to look at that one in the morning. So let me just look at that guy in the morning, NMHI, to get a better look. It could easily bounce right there. It doesn't look terrible. And it does look like that bottom was the other day on the 12th at about 8 cents in the lower eight. So it's in 9 cent range and it doesn't look terrible. So I'll keep an eye on that one in the morning. TANH. This one was just down a hair, but up more in the after hours. It ran around from like 16 cents to around 16 down to 15. But I'm telling you what, this thing's right in the right spot right there, and it can get cruising. So keep your eye on this TANH. Like I said yesterday, it's right there in that right spot. It had a little pullback today, but can easily bounce off there tomorrow. It is one of them China companies, and they are starting to look pretty good, them small cap ones. So TANH looking decent. Just keep your eye on it for tomorrow. I'll look at it and see what it wants to do, but it's right there. TRNR, this was up at one point today, then pulled back a little bit. It was down like 26 cents. It looked like it was trying to get ready to roll. Let me look at it in the after hours here. TRNR because I did see it. It did just kind of cross through. I have a feeling this one's going to just get some momentum right here, curl up, and get cruising. So we're keeping an eye on this TRNR. And again, it had that reverse split the other day on the 11th. I didn't realize they had an earnings going on because it didn't say it on here. And they did have an earnings. It pulled back there. And I think this one's going to try to get set up. I'll watch it tomorrow. It could easily try to get rolled off there. And if it does, it's going to start flying back up there. Back. Oh, it's got plenty of room. It's going to get cruising. So it will get moving if it rolls off there. TRNR. So I'll keep an eye on that and let you know if it does get moving. And BTCT, let's see what it did. It came down like $6. Remember, I said when these guys are at the top like this, you have to be careful. That's why we don't chase them because when this happens, you're in trouble. It came down over $6 today, and it was that 1933. It opened at 1808. It ran up a little bit. People were probably still trying to trade it around, and then all of a sudden it dumped down to 1190 and just it got crushed. And then it's at 1288. It came out of the top, Could it curl back up? It could. It's up back 60 cents in the after hours. But again, you don't want to be in something when it's coming down like that, or has the potential to be dipping down like that. So you have to be careful about something when it's up in the top. And that's why I don't like to chase them. And I like to look and see if they're really moving. I say it's a fast momentum play, but you don't want to get caught in something like that. And that's exactly what I talk about all the time. You don't want to be caught in that thing because then you're in trouble and you're hoping that it can curl back up and move. And obviously, we had it down here in like the dollar range. So, and it ran up over like 20 something bucks. And it stayed up there longer than I expected it to, but that's your BTCT and VCIG was not looking bad last night. It did split recently. It's making that base. It's starting to crawl up right there. And VCIG. Here we go. And yeah, I'm telling you, keep an eye on this thing. It's about to curl through. It's looking good. I don't see why it's not going to get moving. Um, the 20 is a little further up there at 305, but I have a feeling this one's going to try to catch some momentum. So we're going to watch it and see. And again, these things are trying to hop back on track and not exactly wait for the 20 every time. Some of them are, but they're starting to kind of get back to normal. So it's hard to read every single one. That's why you got to really see the indicator that it's moving. This one has a little bit of pullback. It's crossing through. I want to watch it, but if it starts giving you that indicator that it definitely wants to curl up and get cruising, it's one to be looking at because it will get moving there. And that's VCIG, GDHG. That's another China company set up in the right spot. It just ran around from 202 to 210 back to 186 and closed at 204. And another one just sitting right there. Its bottom was the other day at 165. And this thing wants to get cruising, guys. I could pretty much say, let me look at mine, but just by looking at one chart real quick, I'm almost going to say it wants to move. It looks like it wants to move. I mean, I can't imagine this thing unless it's just stair stepping up, but it's right there. And I would say that it wants to get cruising right there. It's definitely setting up to get moving real soon, GDHG. And like I said earlier, them China small caps are looking pretty good. I think they're setting up to get moving. And you know, when they get set up and they get moving, it gets wild. So they move fast, that's for sure. That OCGN ran up the other day. We were looking at it way down, and let's see what it wants to do. It did pull back today, 2 cents. Let me see what it did. It ran from 94 to 96 and a half action, and it closed around 91. Let me look at it real quick. OCGN. It's hitting that line. And it does almost look like today wants to be the bottom and it wants to bounce back up. Let me pull it out to see what it looks like long term. Mm, could roll off right there. It's hitting the line pretty hard. I'll have to look at it in the morning to give you an honest look. If I had to guess, and like I said, I'm going to take a better guess than really saying exactly what it's saying, but it could. I think it's going to bounce off or try to roll off. Maybe it takes a smooth landing tomorrow onto that MACD and looks better. That's the look I have on it right now. I will look at it tomorrow. It does have some support down here in like the 80 cent range, 83, 85. But I'm not so sure it wants to get down that far. But I will definitely take a look at it tomorrow and have a better idea for OCGN. And I know a few people asked, and again, it ran up the other day up to that 131, and that was a pretty nice little pop up because we were looking at it down here like in the 90s or something. And yeah, it ran up real nice. And again, these things run up quick. If you're playing with these penny stocks, you get one little pop opportunity, and sometimes you get lucky if they curl back up. And for example, like Elab, that one kind of, and we did it first, but I'll go back to it as an explanation. That one ran up 100% on Friday, but Friday's market conditions were just rough for everything. So that one happened to pull back and never looked bad. So you'll get, I think we're getting a second shot on it. But again, it ran up over 100%. You got to be ready to hit that sell button. I say it all the time. Once they hit that 100%, you got to be ready to make moves there. So runs up, pulls back, you get that second opportunity. And if you didn't hit the sell button, you might get lucky for that second opportunity where it's going to really run. So That's what you're looking at with these penny stocks. And before, I mean, now they're at least running and during the normal hours. You don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. and be on Web Bull exclusively for months there. That was the only way it worked. So that was the most bizarre thing I'd ever seen. And luckily it's kind of getting back to some normal charts, and that's why things are running during the day now. I'm not saying they don't pop off at 4 a.m. because some do still, but before it was the only way you could trade any of these penny stocks. So let's look at the yin and the yang. The yin was up $1.48. I thought it might crawl up today, but I don't think it's really popping back up. I'm not so sure it is trying to. Let me take a peek at it. I think the yang still has something left in it. I mean, it does look pretty good, but the last time it even looked good, it bounced off. We knew it was bouncing off of that last time, and it just jumped up that one day. The yang did come down like $4. It came back down, but guess what? It's coming back down where that 20's kind of setting it up. So I have a feeling it's trying to get bumping off of there. And again, they can't move this thing too drastically in one way or the other because you can crash an economy with this thing. In China, like I said, the small caps look good, the big ones aren't so great. And this yin and the yang's been all over. They had that economic stimulus or whatever they did. It made this thing jump up and it made the entire economy get crazy, you can tell. So they have to kind of be careful what they're doing there before they don't want to get too wild and get dropping the yang, making the yang shoot up, and that's the bear one. You'll be in some serious trouble there. So they got to kind of stair step them around, and that's what it looks like it's doing. If you even look at the chart, you can just see how it bounces up and down, and then it'll have that one big dip, and then it'll do what it was supposed to do, or it ran up and it was supposed to do what it was supposed to do and came back down, and they're just kind of keeping things stabilized over there. So that's the yin and the yang. We'll keep an eye on that in the morning, see which way they want to go tomorrow. TWG, this thing was up 10 cents or 10%, 2 cents. And I'm telling you, this thing's getting curled up, guys. It's going to get moving. This TWG, I know we said it yesterday, and I'm saying it again today because it was up and it's going to be up more. So keep your eye on that TWG because that one looks really good. That's that Top Wealth Group, and it had a nice dip. It's a Hong Kong company, food distribution. And remember, it was up at what, like $9 or something. It was crazy. $13 on October 24th and had a huge dip. And we were watching it. We watched it take the dip and then we were watching it right there. I think we caught one little bounce off of it, and now it's looking really good to curl through and get moving. So that is TWG and Buru, Buru. This one is setting up and it just curled through as a matter of fact. And your 20's coming down has that weird look where it opened and closed in the same area. It had over 1.5 million in volume. And let's see what it did in the after hours. I'm telling you, this one wants to get cruising too. It's just making that base down there. Maybe this one is waiting for the 20. It's at 49. This one's at 43. So it could easily get right there if it wants to. It got up there the other day on what, on Friday, was it the 14th? Thursday. I didn't think it was Friday. On Thursday, it got up there. So it can easily jump up there and get moving. So if you like Buru, keep an eye on it because it is setting up. And good old Holo, HOLO, was down 17 cents. It's just pulling back. It keeps looking like it could be a bottom. But I don't know. I think it's going to be pulling back here. It could hit this bottom and bounce. I'll look at it and see if it wants to hit the MACD and hit that and bounce off too, or if it's going to get in the basement. Again, we don't have to really follow it much longer than this. I mean, we nailed Holo like 5 times every which way textbook, so we don't really have to worry about that one that often. TNXP, let's look at it because this one was setting up. I was looking at it today and I was trying to get an idea if it wanted to cross through going down because I had that nice dip today. And I think it's a really nice dip and rip. It looks like it's going to roll off that MACD. Let me just confirm it on mine. But yeah, I think right here, TNXP, I think you got a runner in the next day or so with that. And again, I think you had that dip and rip, and a lot of them been doing it. So you got to kind of look for that dip and rip situation when they pull back. It did pull back Friday as well, or yeah, Friday it pulled back and but yeah, it just had that real nice dip today and looked good to roll off of there. So I think TNXP setting up. We were looking at that last week. And the market conditions again, Friday were just not great for anything. So kind of just threw a wrench in things, threw them off, and then you come into a weekend, you got to get reset up and get moving again. And you can tell they're going to do it, especially with something like SMCI just making the whole market shift and look better. So that'll help out pretty well tomorrow, I think. QLGN, I think another one that had a little dip and rip situation today. It did go up 364 to 372 and then down to 334, and that's about where it closed. As it's setting up, we know as they're curling up, they do that. And yeah, it just kind of opened and closed around the same price. I think that's what it says here. Let me look on mine. Finviz is all out of whack. QLGN 401 it opened at its high, and then it came back down to and it closed at 362. I was gonna say something didn't look right there, but I had no idea what was going on. But I'm telling you, QLGN definitely curling up, setting up to get cruising. And these are that look that you want to look for. And before we couldn't look at these because they really didn't want to get cruising. Now they're gonna cross through and actually move. That 20 is at like 514. This is at 364. But once it gets cruising through and moving, should get right out of the basement and basically meet right there. So look at QLGN. It is setting up, so watch for it to jump up and down a little bit. It might even be a day out. So look for that pop up tomorrow if it is like a day out, because we know that they like to do that. And how about BKKT? This one ran over 100 and something percent, way up there. It went from about $11 to 29.32 in the after hours, just like straight to the top. And again, Trump media is looking to expand and buy it or something. I'll tell you what it says. I forget. BJT and BAKKT stocks pop on report Trump media and talks to acquire crypto trading platform. So yeah, they the DJT, which operates True Social, is talking to BKKT about buying it, and there you go. That'll make a stock pop up, especially when it's the president coming in and owns a crypto company. Like that's pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm all for crypto, so let's do it. Let's make crypto run through the moon. We'll all be wealthy, and anyone that's not on board, I'm telling you, you better get on board because it's gonna be crazy. It's already crazy. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Um, you could take. I'll just give you a fast, easy example in crypto. And I told you you'll see more millionaires made in these next probably few months, 9 months or so than like all the dot-com bubbles and everything all combined. I have a good feeling. And these kids are going to be nailing them. And I'll just give you a quick example. You put like $1,000 on a coin at night that's setting up and wake up in the morning and the thing is just like astronomical, and then the next day it goes up even more and more, and like 3 days later your $1,000 became like six. You're just like, damn, I just made like 5 grand on this thing in like 3 days. I didn't even do anything. It was just set up to run. And they're not like stocks where they run up and then they hit the top and they have to come down. This thing hits the top and then hits the top and just hits the top and it just keeps going. You're just like, I kind of get scared, but I've learned to you know, try to retrain my brain that they're not going to just come crashing down because again, you'd miss out. I'd be selling them and they'd just be flying through the roof and they would just be getting started. I'm like, damn, a stock that would never happen. So again, another reason why I love crypto. It will get cruising and it'll stay up in the top. And you can even see the big coins now. They're up in the 70 and at that top, and they just stay up there. They dip down a little bit and just go right back up, and they stay in there for like a month or two. It's crazy what they can do. So yeah, if you're not in crypto, like I've been saying for weeks and months, absolutely make that Coinbase account, sign up for it, and as everything, start small, but you can really just start with your main coins. I mean, it's really, really simple. I think it's way easier to trade than stocks. I enjoy it. I love it. Especially I trade everything. Oh, and I still, let me write that down. The three commas. I still have to make that. I forgot about it, to be honest with you, but I just wrote it down. I'll do it. Not that I wasn't gonna do it. I just completely forgot. The trading bots that I have, I trade through that, the three commas. It is so easy. It's just like one button, boom, bam, bam. Like I was up all night trading last night, even this morning I was trading crypto. It's just so easy to do. Even on Coinbase, it's really easy. I just find it really simple with the bots and then that's that platform, but you don't need that platform, obviously. You can do it right through Coinbase. It's a piece of cake and yeah, all of them. I mean, they're just going to be going bananas. As you can see, they are. I mean, the other day threw some money on Bonk and it just went bonkers and then sold that and then rolled it into HBAR and then that went nuts and then sold that one and I just posted a couple other ones that I just bought some FET and LDO. A couple other ones were popping up, and they'll probably run up over 50 to 100% in like a day or so, and then just keep rolling them. And then there's a new one I'm telling you, it's absolutely insane. You could take $1,000 and make it into 10, like it's no big deal. And that's just starting out. I'm telling you, it's just getting started. So we have huge positions in Soul and a lot of other ones. Not a lot, but a few other good ones, Doge and Bonk. And yeah, you just want to load up on a couple great ones that you just know. I'll tell you which one, Soul, which Solana, which is already flying through the roof. That one's going to be the big runner, and Ripple, XRP. You want to just look at them too and buy them. Bitcoin, obviously, it's going up. It's stable. It's a great coin, number one coin, obviously. And Ethereum's a good one, but that one had the huge run last cycle. Solana's going to do that run this cycle. So I think I told you my one buddy he put like 5 grand on Ethereum last time, and I think it made like 100 and some thousand dollars. It was something insane. So these things can be wild, and yeah, I'm telling you, just get ready for it because it's happening. And like we were just saying, Trump owns a crypto company. He's about to become the president of the United States. So, and he's already said he wanted to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world, which I'm all for it because crypto is the bomb, and we can all make a fortune. So let's just trade smart on that as well, as long with these options and stocks, and you will do quite well. Trust me. WMT Walmart. We were looking at it the other day. It's setting up. Let it pull back right there. It had its earnings coming up. I remember it was the 19th. So their earnings are tomorrow because I remember I said, let's look at it after their earnings and let it pull back. Again, it's setting up perfect and it's pulling back right there. Yeah, Ripple XRP is just going nutty. My buddy that I trade with, oh my God, we have like I don't even want to tell you what we have in that, and it just went like astronomically, like insane. So, yeah, we were loaded up on Ripple and Solana, I'm telling you, and the two of them probably went. And Bonk was another one we had a lot, and the three of them just went eight like ballistic, and then I trade them too, and yeah, we just have a good old time when that crypto is moving. It's fun. It moves fast, and again, it's 365, 24/7. You be trading on Christmas morning if you want. And there's people, it's not crazy volume, but people are trading it. There's people all over the world trading that stuff. And again, right around now, like around 10:30 at night, the international market kicks in. So I'll start trading after the show. I start looking at them charts and then they just start kicking up and make a couple trades and yeah, it's great. It's perfect. If you like to trade, it's like the greatest thing ever. And then I wake up and you got the market going. SMCI is going to be blasted off. E-Lab's looking good tomorrow. We're going to have a field day. I'm telling you, it's getting great, guys. And this is what I've been talking about. You can see I'm all excited about it because look how long we've been waiting for stuff to happen. And I've been talking about it. And now we're finally here. So it's good stuff. But let's roll through our list and get cruising. Walmart earnings coming up. I'm going to keep it on the list. It's crossing down, and that's going to be a great one for sure to hit an option on. Because like I said, we'll look at it right after their earnings are coming up. What did I say? What day it was? On the 19th, which is tomorrow. So yeah, we'll look at it tomorrow, see what it does. It looks like it's pulling back, but it's setting up great. It's going to be holiday season. Let it pull back. We'll get the bottom and boom, you hit that one too. So that'll be WMT, good old Walmart. And let's look at Netflix because that was down early this morning. Then it went flying up. And I'm not even sure. It was down. It was funny because I had posted that it would probably go down like their fight coverage. And then all of a sudden they turned it around and went crazy today. So I guess with the fight coverage, it definitely had some good analytics, I'm sure. But yeah, it flew up there. But I would be careful. It's way in the top, and I would have to assume that that one's going to be coming back down after that big pop up. And how about that AZI flying up like 50 cents? We were looking at it, looked great. It had run up to the top, pull back. This is what you look for. You look for them to start curling back up. Remember, the first night I looked at it, I said, it's not giving me that 100% look. And then on Friday, it was Thursday night. And then Friday, I said, yeah, it's curling back up. It's safe. And then boom, there you go. It's curling back up and it's safe. So AZI looks really good to continue its way up. And again, I just telling you what the chart tells me. It wasn't 100% confirmed. It looked like it should have done it, but it wasn't 100% there like it is. It wanted to do it now. You can see it. So it started to curl up. We said it the other day, and boom, there you go. And that's AZI, and it should continue to move up, I would assume. HAO, we've been looking at it. And again, this is one of them China companies that's a small cap down here, 23.5 cents in the after hours. And this bad boy wants to get cruising, guys. So keep your eye on this HAO because it looks really good to get moving too. So I could probably put an asterisk on that one for tomorrow because I have a feeling that's going to get moving. AZI should keep that momentum right there. And like I said, Walmart, we're just going to watch for that to pull back a hair. And how about BJDX, the Blue Jay? That was up 42 cents. It just split. This is what I was waiting for. It split today, and now it's starting to curl up and look much better. Let's look at it tomorrow because I have a feeling it's going to roll off that MACD right there to BJDX and get cruising. And I guess it ran up on Friday. Let me look because it went from it's my chart's got it all crazy because it's saying it's giving me the pre-price and the after price. It's saying it went from like 7 cents to 3.42, and it did not do that. I know that for a fact. And then it's telling me today it went from 3.31 to 4.12. So that it might have done, but Friday it's not telling me the reverse split price. It's telling me it went like over 4,000%, almost 5,000%. And we know it didn't do that. But so, yeah, the Blue Jay looks like it should be cruising BJDX. So I would look at that tomorrow to be curling up there and setting up. BJDX looking good. And ABVE, this was looking pretty decent the other day above food ingredients. And that thing looked like it was curling back up. It got back in between the channel of 47 and 53. It's right there. It ran 48 to 55 today. ABVE, and I think that one looks pretty good to try to move tomorrow. So I would put an asterisk next to that guy, ABVE, because it looks like it wants to start moving. I'm not sure it had that much in volume, 100,000, 125,000, but it could easily move. And again, it moved from like 48, say 49 to 55, and it moved up like over 10% today. So an easy mover and should continue to move that way tomorrow at least, and probably the next day or so. VERU, we were looking at this. It got into the basement, and I think it's finally going to be bottoming out down here. So watch for this to start reversing its way back up. VERU, and it's way down there, 59 cents, 62 in the after hours. And this thing, not very long ago, will even come here. October 23rd was up at 92 cents. It's at 59 cents right now, coming out of the basement. It wants to come out. So watch for it to try to pop out. And it is setting up super bullish right there at like 70 cent area, and it'll want to pop up. So just watch for any more pullback if it wants to. But that is setting up relatively soon. And that's VERU and NDRA. That was down 37 cents. And they do have their earnings. When were they? Friday, they had earnings. So we were waiting and it did. It pulled back. Let's see. It crossed through. And I think it might try to bounce off tomorrow or just at least get set up down there. I'll have to look at this tomorrow, NDRA, see exactly what it wants to do. And we'll see if it wants to get into the basement or just drag that bottom and get set up, and we'll wait for it. So I'll have to just keep an eye on that. MLGO. This was down a penny, up a little bit in the after hours, and again, it pulled back right down to that line. I think you might have a dip and rip situation here. Another one of them small cap China ones, and it could get moving. It's down here. I'm looking at mine. A little bit of pullback, not looking too bad right there. And yeah, I'll look at it tomorrow, but it does look like it wants to get that bounce action going on. Your 20's up here at like 22 cents and you're at 18. So you're right there where it could easily jump up and start cruising. And again, these China small caps just look pretty decent. They're setting up. Maybe they're not popping tomorrow, but they are setting up. They're looking good. And when they move, they start moving fast and they move pretty big. KXIN, another one just setting up right there. Another China one down 24 cents. So you got to look for these pullbacks, but it does look like it's setting up and it's going to get cruising right here. KXIN, just another one. Keep your eye on it. It's right there to get moving. And it is setting up, I have to say that. So MLGO, KXIN, both setting up right there. That ICCT, this one was looking decent the other day. It was up a penny today and curled up, going up. And this is what I'm talking about. This one curled through and it's still curling up off that bottom, and it looks good. And your 20's up here at 20 cents and you're at 17. Before, this could have never done this. It couldn't curl through like that and actually bounce after it already curled through, because it curled through the other day, even last week. So it was probably the 13th, 14th, and then you had Friday, which was a bad day. That would have been toast. This thing would have been done. It would have had to reset up completely. And this is how you can see the charts are getting back to some kind of normalcy. But yeah, it's bouncing off that bottom, curled through like it should. Your 20's at like, and this is why the 20 was never that important to me. It didn't have to carry them up like before. It was the oddest thing I had ever seen in my life. Yeah, you could tell when they're up and under it, like, but it wasn't like the end all be all. Like I used to say, I didn't even have them on my charts. And so yeah, ICCT, curling up, bouncing up off of there. Let me look at it on mine, make sure it looks good still in them after hours. ICCT, and it does. I would say you got one that's going to be moving tomorrow, that ICCT. So keep an eye on that bad boy, because that should be cruising up tomorrow as well. And BNRG, I think that I looked at it a little bit ago, that Brent Miller Energy, and it was it was starting to bounce up. It was up 3 cents today, up a little more in the after hours, and this one's going to make a huge fish hook and really get moving, guys. So keep an eye on this BNRG, because it is getting set up and it's going to want to run. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on it. It's setting up, curling up right there, and it looks pretty good to get moving relatively soon. Again, as they curl up like this, they run up and pull back a little lower than the day before. You can see that, but you're going to see them run around and it's going to have a big old hook on it. So it's going to have some movement. And that's BNRG, and that's at Bren Miller Energy. And let's look at TRUG. This one was looking good as well. True Golf Holdings. And let's see, it's hitting that line, curling up, just running right at the bottom. Your 20's coming down at 59. You're at 47. Say 48. It's easier. It says 46 in the after hours. TRUG. And let's see. Yeah, you're going to get cruising. I think even tomorrow, very good possibility it gets moving right out of the basement. So keep your eye on that one as well, TRUG, because that has good potential for tomorrow. I think that could get cruising. FUFU. This was moving today up 32 cents, over 5%. I know we looked at it yesterday because I said it's a great one to talk about. And I'm telling you, the thing gets back up over that 602. It did today, got the 624. But if it stays up there, it's going to get cruising. And another one of them with them gray earnings on November 5th. I still don't even know what that means. But they all start moving, I'll tell you that. I don't know, I have a clue what it means, but it seems to mean that they're going to be popping real soon to me. That's all I see. Yeah, like I said, I don't look at the numbers or anything. I just noticed that color's gray, and then they start moving. I picked that pattern up right away, and I never seen that happen before either. So I'm not sure what's up with it, but I have to start looking at. I'll look at all the earnings and see which ones are gray. That should be easy. Um, so yeah, I could do that. That's a piece of cake. That zone ZONE that ran up this morning. I mean, it looked like it wanted to run up this morning and be a momentum play. We said it last night. It did exactly that, 238 to 275 and then back down to 150. So it did run up this morning. I remember talking about it last night and yeah, it was just getting into the top. And honestly, it didn't even poke. It just ran straight across that top line was where it ran. It never even really got into the top and then got shorted down. So the shorters got a hold of this thing and crushed it. But you did get that movement because it was set up to run up there. It wanted to get up into that top and run. I think the shorters got a hold of this thing and just destroyed it right there. That's what it looks like to me. And yeah, they launched a pilot program with some international hotel chain, but that was today. I'm not even sure it's Clean Core Solutions. But yeah, it did run up early and then it came crashing down. ALE, this one was looking really good. We looked at it last night. It's starting to crawl up, and Friday looked like it was a nice dip and rip situation. And keep an eye on it. It's crossing down, but crawling up. It's a very interesting look. That's why I wanted to look at it. So I'll keep an eye on it, but it's up there setting up. It's at 64.45. And I don't know if it wants to pull back tomorrow or just pop. I'll look at it in the morning and we'll figure it out. But I want to keep an eye on that because it has an interesting look. And one that I think I accidentally went on ALC Alcon. I remember because I was looking at I don't remember what I was looking at, but I was definitely maybe it was ALE I was trying to point in. I don't remember. But I definitely looked at this one on accident and I said, "Wow, this one looks great." It was up 68 cents today. It's at 85.81. It ran from 84.30 to 86.86, and I'm telling you this thing's getting set up. So ALC, this was a complete accident. We just happened to I happened to type it in wrong and the chart looked good, so I had just added it to the list. So there you go. ALC Alcon Inc. It's a medical instrument company in Switzerland and it's setting up there. So keep an eye on that bad boy. CE is some company I can't even pronounce. I'm not even gonna try. But they had some red earnings recently on November 4th, and this one's a really good setup. I know I was looking at this today and this one's curling up, having a big fish hook. So keep an eye on that one. That one's curling up right there, CE. And we'll keep an eye and see when that gets ready. GFAI. This was down a penny, but just sitting right there. I think you're going to come off that line and bounce off the MACD. I don't see why it wouldn't at this point for GFAI. So we'll definitely keep our eye, and it definitely had a dip today. 110 it opened that, came down to 102. It's at 104. And again, I think you might have a nice little bounce opportunity. It's in a great spot right there. So keep your eye on GFAI tomorrow because that one is looking good. And WISA, WISA Technologies, that was up 8 cents in the after hours. Didn't do a whole lot. 217 to 240, came down to 203, closed at 207, went up to 215. I guess it did. It ran around. When were their earnings? Weren't they coming up or they were Friday? So they were Friday. So now we can take a look at it. It did kind of run up today, actually. It didn't look like it did, but it actually did run up a little bit. And I would have to look at it tomorrow because it doesn't look too bad, but I'm not exactly sure. Coming off of the earnings right there. So I can look at WISA, WISA, and that is a semiconductor company. And I know we were looking at it before. It did run up a little bit, nothing too crazy there. So we'll look at that and see what it wants to do. And this one looked good too. RGF, real good food company. It had a nice dip. I think Friday was its bottom down there at 24 cents. It's at 26, almost 27. It's rolling off that bottom, and I think you're going to start getting curled up there on RGF. We had looked at this before, and keep an eye on this because I think you're going to have a nice little bounce play there. So keep an eye on RGF because I think that wants to get cruising up there. It ran what, 20? Let me see. It ran 27, came down to 26. It closed at 27, just bounced around right there. But it is looking good to set up. And like I said, I think Friday was its bottom. So look for that bottom price down there. If it comes back, pulling back at 25 or 24 cents. And that is RGF right there. And let's just keep on cruising and look at applied. We looked at it last night, APLD, and that was up 52 cents. They had some news, somebody was buying them. Nvidia, that's right. They disclosed a stake in it, and it looks really good still, guys. So keep an eye on that APLD because it still looks good at crossing through and running. And again, these charts are looking like they should, getting back to normal, and I love it. So this one's getting cruising. Watch for it to try to get up into like the $9 range. It's at 8 right now. And we looked at it last night. It should continue that momentum and keep on running there. Let's look at WTO U time. It was up a 0.5%, down a little bit in the after hours, and it's just running that line down there. And again, I think it is trying to set up, and it's another one of these small cap China ones. It looks good, I'm telling you. I think it bottomed out I know it did. It bottomed out the other day on the 8th down here at 30 cents, and we're at 33, 32 right around there. And I'm telling you, this thing wants to get cruising, so keep an eye on it because it is setting up right there. And EJH. This one we were looking at as well, just kind of flat, and it's another one has that look like it's just getting set up right there. It wants to start curling back up, and I am telling you, these small cap China ones are gonna get cruising, and these two are definitely gonna be on the list. EJH and WTO, they are just having that look like they want to get cruising soon. So keep an eye on them bad boys tomorrow and see if they want to get rolling, because once they start moving, you know they're gonna get cruising. AEHL, Antelope Enterprise. This one just in the bottom down there. It had some nice pullback not too long ago. And I thought it was going to get right out of the basement there, and it just didn't want to do it, to be honest with you. Somehow it pulled back. I'll have to look at it tomorrow. That's why I put it on here because I wanted to get an idea. The after hours, it pulled back. It was opened at 30, up to 32. Its low is 27. It's at 28 right now. And it did look much better Friday, to be honest, and even on last night's show. But we can look at it tomorrow, and it could easily reverse back. Today could have just been one of them pullback days. And it wasn't anything that crazy, but um it definitely just had a better look before, so we'll keep an eye on it. That Boyle BOIL was up $2. And again, this thing's setting up to get cruising. So watch this thing to go up, and it is an ETF for the natural gas. So that is BOIL. And remember, we were talking about these things split. This split November 7th. So I don't know how often they have to split, but I know that they do. Let me go back and look. It split then. This is 2024. This is 2023. And June 23rd, yeah, June 23rd of 2023, I had the split. And well, I don't know if they split that often then. I'm not even sure. We'll have to look, but that's the only one I see. And but yeah, there you go. That's Boyle, BOIL. But yeah, looking real good. Set up right there and cruising up there. BOIL, Boyle. We can look at cold real quick. It should be pulling back right now. KOLD. Let's look at it. And it is pulling back, going down. So cold is cold, and Boyle is getting hot and warming up even more. So there you go with them two bad boys, Boyle and cold. And let's look at DraftKings. I believe DKNG is DraftKings. And that shot up today and looks good, curling back up it was up 251. It's at 42.35. Let me see. DKNG. And yeah, it looks pretty good to continue cruising back up there, I would say. It has a nice resistance at 43.41, so about another dollar up. You're gonna have to keep an eye, and it's gonna hit that top and see what it wants to do. But it looks pretty healthy right there, DraftKings. So just watch and see if it pulls back at all and get a better price. But it is looking healthy right there to try to run back up to the top area. And that's DKNG, DraftKings, and SQ. That is Square, Block Inc. That's Block Inc. SQ, and I think it used to be called Square, if I remember correctly. Maybe not. Maybe I'm crazy, but I don't know. But anyway, SQ Block Inc. Let's look at it. It's up 649, and it should be just a momentum play. Honestly, it's up a little in the after hours, getting back into the top. And that's the ones I like to say are definitely a momentum play. If they're rolling up in the morning, they're safe and you want to be in and out. But if not, be careful. And what is this thing doing? Doesn't like SQ. For some reason, it's stuck on DraftKings. Come on, kidding? Oh, here it is. All right, I was about to change it, and then it worked. Yeah, I mean, it does look like it's going to keep that momentum in the morning and stay in the top, but again, I wouldn't stay in it long because it is in the top, and you see what can happen to them. Just like that, what BCTC, when they get up there, they're gonna come back down. So it's just a matter of when, um, and not so much if, because you know it's gonna happen. So SQ again, chase it in the morning. Don't chase it. I mean, play the momentum in the morning is what I meant to say, and uh, and then don't chase it after that because you know it's gonna be coming down. Is what I was thinking. So there you go. GXAI. Let's look at that. 26 cents it was down. That one's pulling back. It ran up the other day on the 14th, which was Thursday, and it's coming down to that line. GXAI. I have to look at this on mine. And it is some nice pullback. That could be a really nice dip and rip situation. We'll look at it in the morning, but I have a feeling that could be a dip and rip situation. So just look for the bounce right there. And that's what I would look for because again, it did have a nice little dip there. 135 to 148 or yeah, 135 is what it opened. 148's its high and 101 it got down to. It's at 109 the after hour. So a nice little pullback there on GXAI. And I think that you could have that dip and rip look right there. And how about Mogo? Mogo, Mogo Inc. This is a Canadian company, software infrastructure. It was in the top. It was well over 180 the other day. It was what? Um, Let me see. 195 on November 12th, which was last Tuesday. And right now it's at 145 in the after hours and curling back up. I think this will be a momentum play right there. Mogo, I think you have some more Mogo in it. And then just be careful as it approaches that 170 area. So it's at 145 and it looks like it has some momentum in it. So keep an eye on that. And CETX, let's look at that. That's at 18 cents. I know it's just running that bottom down there. The 20 is at 23 cents. This is at 18. It's actually catching up to it because they were really far apart. So it's making up some ground as it just stayed flat. So it wants to run. It's just staying in the basement, getting set up right there. And today, honestly, it's looked like it a lot of days, but today could have been the little dip and rip. It got down on their 16 and a half. It's back to 18 and it's looking a little better right there, CETX. So I'll look at that one in the morning as well and see because that'll be a good runner out of the basement. It's been in there for a long time and it has plenty of room it could run. Let's put it that way, being that it was down there. Your 50 is like at $3 and something, and you're at 18 cents. So has a ton of room. GOVX, this was moving today, and it looks good to continue moving. That one was up last week. I remember the 12th, which was Tuesday last week, and it's rolling back up GOVX. So keep your eye on this tomorrow for a momentum play. It looks like it wants to keep moving, and that is GOVX, and it looks pretty good. GeoVax Labs. I think that wants to roll up TTOO. If I can type it in, here we go. It was up a little and then up some more in the after hours. And we were just talking about the other day, and it had that gray earnings. Remember, I did say it the other day, and we were joking about it going back up. It had earnings on Thursday. We've been looking at it, and I'm telling you what, Friday was its bottom, and this thing wants to go rolling, guys. So keep your eye on TTOO because that's going to go TTOO and just go flying right now. So yeah, keep an eye on that bad boy. That looks really good. AISP. Let's look at that. Pulling back right there. AISP. Let me bring it up on here. AISP. And yeah, it ran up the other day on the 13th, which was last Wednesday, in the top, pulling back here. Maybe it's going to get stuck. Watch it tomorrow to come down to that 244 area, and then we'll readdress it there. So let's see if it hits that 244 and can get stuck around that area or 238, somewhere's in that price range right there. If it can stop itself, get stuck, and then curl back around, it'll be in good shape. If it goes through that, it might have to pull back some more, obviously, and then we'll have to look at it and see where it's going. LGHL, let's look at the Lion Group. And this one was up a hair today, up a little more in the after hours. And this bad boy, the Lion, is about to get rolling, guys. He's about to roar. Here you go. Hear that lion roar tomorrow because it's looking really good to try to get rolling. Watch for it to get back up to the 20 cent, and then it's basically there in the after hours. 20 and a half, we'll say. Even 21. Get it to 21, another penny up, and you're gonna get cruising, and it looks like it's gonna get there with no problem. And yeah, I'd say the lion is gonna be roaring tomorrow. Look for LGHL to be running right there. That looks good. MDH or MDH. MD JH is what it is. MDJH, MDJM Ltd, a United Kingdom real estate company. And this one's curling up, running that bottom. I remember last week it ran up like crazy on the 14th last Thursday. It ran up from like 18 cents to over 33. It's at 17 right now. Let me take a look at it on mine. MDJH. And it is just curling through a little bit flat down there, but I'll tell you what, this thing is getting set up. The 20's up here at 33 and you're at 17, but that one day the other day last week it got up to that 33. It can reach it again with no problem. And I have a feeling you're going to be getting set up. I'll look at it in the morning just to get a better idea. It's not telling me it wants to pop yet, but it looks like it's trying to get moving or do something. So let me look at it and get a better idea. XPON, XPON. Let's look at that because they just had their earnings last week on the 14th, last Thursday, and it was up and then coming back down. I'm telling you, I'm the worst at earnings. I have no idea what they're going to do, and that's why I like to wait a day or two after, and then you get a really good price because this one pulled back really good, XPON. And I have a feeling you're going to get rolling off that MACD. We'll be able to tell tomorrow. So I'll look at that tomorrow and get a good idea if it's going to roll off. If it is, it's going to go up with no problem. So I'll make sure I look at that tomorrow. And Sensei Biotherapeutics, SNSE, is curling up. It is looking good and it's setting up to get moving. It's basically trading around that 43 up to that 57. It didn't quite get up that high, got the 55. But it's right there and it was looking good to try to get moving soon. So SNSE, I would look at that because that's curling up and setting up right there. And I think that you're going to have a runner for SNSE and SISI. Let's look at it. Looks pretty good on mine right there, real quick. Let me see on here. SISI. It recently split on the 12th, so that was last Tuesday. And let's see, it's just curled, or not curled, it's just running down there at the bottom. And the 20's up there at 323 because that's a little higher up it looked. And let me see that Shine Co. company. We looked at this before. I think it just has a little bit of time to set up down here. I'll have to look at it tomorrow and see if it's trying to get any movement going. It's just been kind of flat and running around like up and down around the same spot. So I'll see if it's trying to move or do anything tomorrow. I'll take a look at it. And that's SI. So there you go. Let me roll through the messages real quick, see what we're looking at, and then we'll get cruising. We'll look at some laptop travel ones. We'll look at the crypto because that's been crazy lately, and our SPY and our big caps and all them bad boys, and get cruising right through everything. So here we go. Let me see what you guys want to see. Let me roll through the messages and see what is happening here. If anybody wants to see anything. Ripples up, PLTR. There you go. There you go. Luis Rodriguez. I'm glad you pointed that out. How long have I been saying PLTR? Play it as a momentum play in the morning, but be careful because if that thing comes out of the top, you're in trouble. It didn't even come out of the top, and it came down like over $4 today. It opened at 64.92. That was its high. And then it started coming down to 58.85. It closed around 61, but then it came down to 59, had 137 million in volume. And I have a feeling it could come right down into the $50 range before it sets up and runs again. And this is what I mean. When they get up at the top, they have to come down. It's just a matter of when they're going to do it. This one ran way up there longer than I thought, just like Sophie, but perfect example, Luis Rodriguez. And you don't want to get caught in this thing as it pulling back down to 50 and you're buying it at like 65. You're going to get smoked. And especially if you have an option on it, then you're really screwed because that thing's going to expire on you and then you're just going to lose your money. So you got to think about these things. And when they're at the top, you don't want to be chasing them. We love to find them at the bottom and nail them. So there you go. Delisted. Thank you very much. Good stuff. Or deleted, it says. I'm telling you, whenever I look at your profile, it's so great. It just messes with my head. I'm like, is that deleted? What is it? It always messes with me. It's like the blind. Look at it. Here, I'll post that out. Good stuff here. Look at his picture, and then it says delete it with like two dots or something, three dots. And I'm always like, is that deleted? What is going on? So it always gives me a good chuckle, and I'm glad that you enjoy the show. So thank you very much for hanging out. And Octo, let's look at that one. Wasn't it down a little bit today? Yeah, I looked at it. I remember I seen it. And it was right there where it was trying to curl through and it decided to pull back. A lot of these are coming back down to that bottom line, and that's where you're seeing that big dip and rip situation on most of these guys. And you know what I think might have happened a little bit is happening too. Remember when I was saying they kind of ran up a little faster after the election than I thought they would, or the charts really thought they would. They ran up that Wednesday morning. I think they wanted to run Thursday and Friday and it just happened so smooth. Now you're kind of seeing the dust settle and things are kind of getting back on track. And now you're seeing them dip and rip situations. That's when you see things like that, when things get thrown off a little bit. And then you're going to see it start to happen because you're getting into the holidays and you have like a Thursday off for Thanksgiving. And then Black Friday is a slow day. So you start getting a little, you know, shift in the in the routine and the rhythm, but it's all right because the charts are getting back to normal, so we're gonna be fine. Before it was just a mess. Whenever it came around, you could tell I hate it when there was a day off because it just really threw things off so much. It was like you had to like really, really pay attention and study them and know what you were looking at. I mean, it was just crazy for like that long time. There was a couple nights I couldn't even figure out what any of them wanted to do. So, now you can kind of tell what I was talking about them getting back to normal. And again, I mean that the market was shifting like 2 or 3 weeks before the election was even happening. You could tell. I said it multiple times. It already had looked like he had won the election and it was like 3 weeks out. So I'd said it from 3 months that it would be a big landslide. But between 2 and 3 weeks out, you could already tell that the charts were shifting. And I said it. I'll have to pull some of the video or the audio from it because I know I was saying it and I remember what they looked like. They were shifting. You could tell that they couldn't run like that before. They never were, and then they were starting to turn around. And I could just pick it up on them. And I know few of you or a lot of you that listen all the time probably remember me saying it. And that's exactly what was happening there. There was never a question that it was ever close. It was just the fact that the media wanted to build up hype and also max out their marketing dollar, their budgets, I guess. But I think you're going to see our media change drastically, which it needs to because it's all nonsense anyway. So anyway, let's get back to the important stuff here. And that was Octo. I forgot what I was even doing. I was going through the messages. I got sidetracked there. So Octo pulling back. I think you're going to see a little dip and rip. It may pull back a little bit more tomorrow, RD. So just look for that and hit that bottom line. But it is kind of setting up bullish up there. You're just seeing almost all of them pull back like that, dip and rip, or pull back to that bottom line and touch off and bounce off. And most of them that are doing it are not getting back into the basement. They're going right back up. So it's pretty safe. And we'll look at it tomorrow. Let's look. It's Oh yeah, if Tesla's earning call, they say anything about or Nvidia, doesn't Nvidia have a call tomorrow? They probably do too. If they say anything, it's gonna go wild. AMD, let's see. Let's see what AMD's up to. Up $4. Here you go. The semiconductors. I'm telling you, now that SMCI's back in business, all of them are gonna be looking good. AMD, Luis Rodriguez, you're right on point with that one. Looks great right there. So I would say that looks safe. And you know that they're going to be moving and that DJT. And I think we got all them bad boys. Let's just keep on cruising. I'll knock out the laptop travel ones real quick, and then we'll roll through crypto and the big caps and wrap it up real fast. And we'll know what we're looking at. We'll know what's going to be popping. I'll go through the list real quick, tell you what looks good, and we'll get cruising for tomorrow. And it'll be an exciting day for SMCI and a bunch of other ones. And like I said, I think Elab's going to be moving. There's a lot of them. So I'll run through that list. As a matter of fact, I'll run through the laptop travel and then I'll do a quick rundown recap of what ones look good. And then we'll do crypto and then the big cap. So here we go. Let's cruise right through and keep on rolling. AIHS. Let's see, AIHS. This was up 7 cents, and this one's going to get cruising, guys. It's going to roll off. I would say you have a mover tomorrow. Where did it run today? Because it looked pretty good, 84 to 95. And holy cow, I would say keep your eye on that bad boy. That's going to get an asterisk right there. Um, ARTW. And a lot of these look great, I'm telling you, because I know some of them we looked at already, and usually this list is always on point lately. Laptop Travel has been nailing them. The scanner's on point. They're rolling off. This one's rolling off the MACD. It's just kind of trading between that channel. I remember we looked at Artsway Manufacturing the other day, and it was trading between the channel. Let it trade between this channel, but it's setting up really good. So just let it set up and keep an eye on them bottom prices right there. It could come back down to that 158. It's at 169, 171. And ARTW is going to look good. CVD equipment, this one's popping off. Holy cow. It dipped hard on Friday and it's getting cruising now. CVV. So keep an eye on that because that one's to run up there. DRPO or DPRO is it? DPRO. Dragonfly. I remember we did it before. It's DPRO. Isn't this an aerospace and defense one? Let me look. Yeah, aerospace and defense in Canada. That's right. And here we go. Oh, the dragonfly is about to fly, guys. Keep an eye on that. DPRO. Wow, that one looks great. You're gonna have to keep an eye on that one. That's gonna get moving right there for sure. Duo. I know we looked at the duo the other day. Let's see. It was down a penny. Let's look and see what it wants to do. And no, it's just dipping and ripping. So let it set up DUO and it will get moving really soon. Maybe at the end of the week or maybe next week, DUO, and it will look nice. EDTK. Let's look at that skillful craftsman education technology, a China company over here. And it's up. Hold on. It is looking really good right there. It's up 5 cents and it's at 102. I would keep an eye on this bad boy. It looks great. EDTK. Yeah, I would say that one's going to be popping up tomorrow, so keep an eye on that one. Looks really good. EFSH, I remember this one was looking great. It's at 18 something, 1847 holdings, down 2 cents. It recently split and it was making a big fish hook, and it's getting right there, guys. And today it ran from what 49 to 54, and it came down to 45 and closed at 50, and it is looking good. I'm telling you, EFSH looking nice and it's going to curl through. So that's setting up and curling up right there. So there you go. ESLA. Here we go. ESLA. Estrella something. And this one's setting up. We've been looking at it. It's been moving. Once it gets up over that 93, it's at 80. Well, it came down in the after hours. I'll have to look at it on mine. Hold on. ESLA. Because once I was going to say, if it popped up there, it would have been perfect. That 82, if it pops up to that 92, it's perfect. It looked like it wanted to today, and it pulled back in the after hours. I'll have to look at it tomorrow, ESLA, but it is going to be set up. How about GIFT, GIFT, up 7 cents? I know we talked about it before, and it ran up immediately. It was a good gift that day. And GIFT is going to be another good gift now. So it's setting up to run back up, and I think it's going to get even higher than it was. It's going to get back into the twos, and it's at like 163, 158 in the after hours. But Gift is setting up to run, so keep an eye on that. GORV, let's see. GORV is at Lazy Days Holdings, and it had one of them gray E's, and it wants to go up. I'm telling you, look for these gray E's and then just find them, and they usually want to go up. And this thing, a little healthy pullback today, 107 and 125 came back to 104, and it's at 107. So it opened and closed at the same price and ran up. But it looks decent, guys. At GORV, the Lazy Days. Laptop Travel likes it, and again, it has a gray E. And I'm gonna look in the earnings and find all the gray E's I can and see how they're set up because I've never seen that before, and it just definitely jumped out at me. We've been looking at them for like a week or two now, and we had a lot of earnings coming up, so that's why. And I don't know what the heck they're gray for. Let me click on it. Are they just like yeah, it just doesn't say anything. I don't know if they, I have no idea. I have to look into it and see what that even means because I have no idea. But anyway, GORV looking good. IOVA, that one was pulling back. It's now up 25 cents. We hit the bottom there and we're getting ready to rock and roll here. And again, that was just being patience right there. So IOVA, your bottom was going to be at that 812 area, 813 it got down to today right there. Now it's going to get moving. So look for that bottom price. And IOVA is going to be getting set up to run back up now. IVDA, let's look at that one. Oh, IVDA. Yep. Rob Top Travel likes that IOVA. And like I said, it just kind of pulled back and we found the bottom on it like we usually do. And IVDA is already ready to rock and roll tomorrow. It's trading between that channel and it wants to get cruising according to FinViz and my chart. I would say it could have a little asterisk next to that and keep an eye on IVDA because it's looking good. And I think I wrote JT and I kind of erased it. I don't know what I did, but JXJT, that's what it looks like, and it's not looking too bad right there. So let's look at it. JXJT. Let's see. JX Lux Venture Limited. It's a China company, apparel manufacturing. It's running up, it's flat. It's right between this channel 136 and 160. So it might trade in between that as it gets set up, but it will set up maybe in next weeker, and we'll keep an eye on that. JXJT WETH. Let's look at that. We Touch Technology is a China one too, and this one's setting up to get rocking and rolling. They're gonna touch something. We Touch. I don't know what they're touching, but they're getting ready to touch something. It looks pretty good. It's setting up right there. That hard line's coming down. It might just run up into the 170s and get set up in the next day or two. So keep an eye on this one. It is getting set up right there. WETH, just a weird name. We Touch Technology, and sounds kind of creepy. But anyway, We Touch Technology is getting ready to set up, and that is WETH and MLEC. Let's look at Moolec Sciences because this one's setting up the run. It's curling up hard right now. We were looking at it before MLEC, and it is cruising. It did today 80 to 87, and it's sitting at that 87. I think you're going to have some momentum right there and keep on running tomorrow. So keep an eye on that. And MSS, I know we looked at before. It is Mason Solutions, a grocery store, and it is curling up. I think that one's going to try to get moving as well. I remember this on the list for a while, and a while back, I mean, and now it looks pretty good. MS setting up right there. And how about Nas? I don't know what he's rapping about these days, but we'll see what NAAS is doing. Nas Technology. It's a China company as well, and it's curling up. So maybe Nas moved to China and now he's doing specialty retail over there. And now his stock's about to pop. It's about to get up to 332 and keep on moving. So that is looking good. That NAAS. So that is setting up as well. Not looking bad right there. Nas was a good rapper back in the day. NCPL, Net Capital. down 69. That thing's setting up, guys, at 20 and 50. When that's meeting up like that lately, it's just been blasting them off. And that's going to happen in the next few days. So keep an eye on this bad boy. I'll look at that tomorrow, see where we're at with it. And it's going to be right there. NRXP, let's see, NRX Pharmaceuticals. This has two earnings. It has a green and a gray. I love it. November 18th with the gray for today. And then it had a green one. It had a double earnings. Hold on. It had a green one for November 14th. I have no idea what's going on, but this thing wants to blast off another green one or another gray one that wants to fly. NRXP. And yeah, that thing popping tomorrow. So keep an eye on that bad boy right there. And what is it? NTIP, NTIP it is. I know that because we've looked at it a few nights now. And NTIP, that Network One Technologies, and that one's just kind of pulling back. That's in between the channel too. And it looks like it just kind of wants to trade in there a little bit between, let's see, 131 and 138. Today it was at 129 and 138, and it's at 133 right now. So it could be in between that channel setting up, and we'll keep an eye on that NTIP and snacks SNAX. This was looking good the other day. It's kind of run. It ran up on Thursday, or not Thursday, the other day on the 13th, which was Wednesday. It's been slowly creeping up, and now it's looking a little better. So SNAX, I know we looked at it last week. It has moved up a little bit. On mine, it says it's pulling back just a hair, 90 to 94. Its low is 90 and it's at 91. And it's not looking bad right there. Snack. So SNAX, just just sitting right there on that 20. Looks like it wants to get set up and moving. Have to keep an eye on that. SOND, let's look at that. Sonder Holdings. And this one's crawling up and getting rolling back up. So SOND, I would say that one's going to get cruising. That's crawling back up there and getting rolling. And SYNX, let's see that one. SYNX, here we go. I won't even try to pronounce that name, but it's crawling through back again, and this one's setting up really good. It's setting up in like five different ways. I have to look and see what the volume is real quick. SYNX. And it is, it's crawling up, crossing, it's about to cross through only 5,000. I could tell it was low just the way it was looking, and it only had 5,000 in volume. It has a pretty decent setup. Just keep an eye on it. It runs around 275 to 289 down to 263, and it closed at 286. So it does have some movement for 5,000 in volume, and it doesn't look bad right there. So SYNX, you keep an eye on that. We can look at it. SYPR, let's look at this bad boy. It's crawling up and looking pretty good right there. This one has a low volume too, but it's not looking bad. Again, volume's not everything, but some of them you can just tell they would like to move a little better if the volume was higher. Um, SYPR looks like it could definitely start to run 139 to 143 down to 136. It's at 140 and looking real good right there. So keep an eye on that one as well. That's set up, and that's SYPR. And let's look at turn, TURN. Let's see which way this is going to turn. Oh, let me type it in right. I put in earn, and it's called 180-degree capital. And let's see if it's going to turn 180 degrees because it was set up in a great spot and it's pulling back. I would have to say it's going to turn off on that line and pop. So I think it's going to, yeah, I think it's going to pull back and roll off of the MACD. That's when it's going to make a 180 turn and start cruising. So I think you might have to see where it's at tomorrow, and it'll probably be getting right around that spot where it's hitting it and trying to take that soft landing on turn. I'll look at it tomorrow and tell you what it looks like. And that VKTX is that Viking one, whatever, Viking Therapeutics. And I think you're at your bottom today, finally down there at the bottom at 47.65. We're at $48, and I think tomorrow it's going to start curling back up finally. And that's at VKTX. It took a nice dip, and again, patience paid on that bad boy because we started looking at it way up here in like what, the 60s, the 70s probably, and we're now at the $48 range. So it's exactly why you want to be patient, not chase things, and see which way it's going, and know exactly that you're confident that it's going up. And that's when you can get in them because you know which way it's going to go, and you're safe. So that's how we kind of look at it, and that's VKTX. And let's look at that VVPR real quick and see what that's up to. Vivo Power International. And this one is trying to crawl back up. It ran last week, I remember, on the 14th, which was Thursday. It ran from like 78 to 135. Let's see if it wants to get moving again. Just kind of flat. I'd have to look at this in the morning. Has that look where to open and close 85 and close at 84, over 2 million, 2.7 million in volume. It could easily curl back up. It almost looks like which one is it that was AZI where I was saying, it basically looks like it wants to curl up. It's just not giving me that 100% look, but it should. That's what this one basically looks like, VVPR. And there you go, Laptop Travels List. Thank you very much with them. And let me go ahead and take a quick look at crypto. I'm just going to hop into my app because it's pretty quick that way. And then I'll look at the messages and we'll do some big caps and all them bad boys and see what's happening. But let's look at crypto real quick because Bitcoin's at 91,526 and it is. It's way up there. And again, if you look at this thing, it got into the 70, and I wish I could tell the days better on here, but I can't. And but yeah, it's curling back up, made a base, and it just looks like it wants to keep going up. It's crazy. Ethereum's at 3,158, and that one is just kind of making a base right there. It's actually hitting the line right now, and it's going to curl back off and roll back off of it and go up. So crypto's looking good. Ripple's at 113, and it is looking like it wants to make a base up here. Yeah, it looks like it wants to curl back up into the 70 and go higher. And this is what I mean. These things can stay up here and go crazy. Solana's at 243, guys. That's nutty. I mean, it just flying up there like crazy, and it's in the 70s, and it's just staying up at the top. I mean, a stock just generally doesn't do this. Maybe some of the big caps will, and Mag 7s, but not like crypto can. It's just absurd. And Cardano ADA, another one just staying up in that 70 up there. It's at 74 cents. And Doge is at 37.5 cents. And this one's making a nice base, and it's going to come curling back down and probably roll back up. So all of them making a base where they're at for the most part. Chainlink's at 1512 right there. And this one's looking good. It's curling back off and it's going back up into the 70 and rolling higher. And Sheeb, that was just down a hair, but nothing crazy. And again, it's hitting that, it's coming down and it's to the MACD. It's going to roll off of that. Let's check out Bonk, see what that's doing. That one is back down somewhat. I know that because it's down, yeah, it's down a little bit, but nothing crazy. And yeah, it's still up in the 70, and it's just crazy what these things can do. I mean, it's staying up there over the five, like, what is it? It's like 0.0004 zeros and then 5073. I mean, these things have run up like crazy. I'm telling you, it's wild what they're doing. WIF. Let's look at that. That's back down to 348. Wow, that one really pulling back, huh? And honestly, they're just making room. This one came out of the 70s, so some of the altcoins aren't staying in there like the main ones, but they're running up super crazy and fast like that HBAR today. That one went nutty. H bar we were looking at, it's at 15 cents now, so it's even higher than it was a little bit ago. And like I said, these things run up there, they get crazy up there. And I already sold it in the at 14 today. And it went up another penny, not a big deal to me. I ain't worried about it. But yeah, it was just a quick one. Boom, like overnight, and real nice easy popper for you. So that was that bad boy. And let me see what else is going on over here. I don't see anything else that crazy. But yeah, crypto looking good right there. Can't complain about that. And let's see what our big caps are doing and our SPY. And here we go. Let's look at the SPY and see what it's up to. It was up 240. It's hit that 20 and just stuck right there. And it looks like it's going to curl back up. I don't think it's going to crawl back through the MACD. So I think you're going to be green tomorrow and looking good. GameStop was down a little bit, and I think it's going to try to curl back up. It came out of the seven, it came out of the top, so we have to see what it wants to do exactly. AMC was down 12 cents, up two, and I'm telling you, this thing is in the perfect spot. Maybe it pulls back. I don't think it's coming back down under that 417. It's at 438. And I think AMC is about to get cruising, guys. So keep an eye on that. Chewy, CHWY. Let's see, 14 cents it was up. And this one, kind of like GameStop actually pulled out of the top, and now it looks like it wants to run back up there. So maybe they will curl back up Chewy and GameStop. Chewy does look like it wants to. GameStop's right there where you can't really tell. Nvidia was down today, 183, but I have a feeling that's going to get reversing. And again, they have their earnings coming up on Wednesday, so maybe it just hit that that support line right there. What one? Where was its low? 137-ish. It was at 140. And that's where it basically stopped at today in the after hours. And yeah, it's just right there. It could easily just stay right there, set back up, and then get cruising, especially if SMCI is looking good. You know that they're all going to be kind of cruising up there. So that is NVIDIA. And let's look at Apple. That was up there today. It was up almost it was at 228, up over $3. Remember, I was saying this thing last week, setting up like crazy. And I had plenty of options in this and on the ETF on it. What is it, like AAPU, I think? I forget what it is off the top of my head. Yeah, AAPU is one of them, way up there. At $35. Opened at 34.94, got up to 36.38. But yeah, these things pay like crazy. I'm telling you, these ETFs. And but yeah, Apple's looking great. Google, let's look at it. That one was bouncing back up. That one's setting up to be great, guys. It may pull back a little bit, but I'm not even sure. I think that's just setting up to get rocking and rolling. Amazon pull back a little bit. Maybe it's going to bounce. It might come back to 198. It didn't quite hit it. It hit 200. And I think it's going to start bouncing off or roll off and get ready for the holiday season. And that's Amazon just setting up. Meta's up 32 cents, and another one I think could just pull back a little bit more and setting up super bullish. Meta is META. Microsoft, that was up 76 cents, and this one's setting up. I think you're going to see it roll off of here. Actually, cross through. I thought it was going to roll off today. Let me look on mine and see if it pulled itself back up. I didn't notice. Actually, crawled through. It could easily pull itself back up tomorrow and roll up there. It's barely through it. It looks like it wanted to. It looks like it wants to, and it looked like it wanted to today. That's why I caught me off guard that it actually crossed through because I never saw that it did it. And but I think that'll pull itself back up there, and that's Microsoft MSFT. And let's look at Tesla. TSLA was up $18, and that wants to try to get back into the top. And this thing again is just an animal with Elon, so the resistance is at 355. So just watch for it if it's hitting up there. Be careful. Nike, that came down. Could be a little more dip action. And again, a dip and rip, but they want to touch that bottom. So we'll have to see if it yeah, it's right there. Let me look at Nike on mine, see if it's ready. It's a nice dip. It could just be pulling, it could be bouncing back off tomorrow. It's right there where it could easily. So NKE pulled back to what, 74.25. It opened at 76.16 and it closed in the 74. So it's right at 74.99. Keep an eye on that. Nike NKE and Rivian, that was up a little bit today. And again, this thing's just setting back up. It ran up the other day, coming back, and they're all just coming back and rolling off the MACD and cruising. There's nothing wrong with them because they're setting up nice. PLTR, we talked about it, finally came out or came down, didn't even come out of the basement. Maybe it pops back up tomorrow. It's a crazy one, but you know what I say, you have to be careful with them bad boys. I don't like to chase anything like that because I don't like to get caught with it. So, we'll look at it and see if it comes out of the basement. PLTR, Sophie, SOFI, like I said, that one's running up. It looks like a momentum play in the morning, but just be careful because it's way at the top and that could come out and you don't want to get caught on that one. And DELL was up $4. We were looking at it last night. It looked like it wanted to kind of bounce up. I didn't know if it wanted to pull back a little bit to that 129, but apparently it didn't because it came down to that line and it looks like it wants to get cruising. So keep an eye on Dell because that looks like it wants to make a hard curl up and get popping tomorrow. So watch Dell and Snow, SNOW. I think they have earnings this week, don't they? Let me look because I know I sold it the 20th on Wednesday and it was up $1.47. It looks like it wants to curl back up, but I'll wait until after earnings. I ran that up perfectly the other day and it ran right up to what 134 and I got it right here. I know where it was. It was at like 123. So that was a beauty right there. And that was in 3 days. Bam, boom, and it was a smasher. And I'm telling you, that's exactly what we're going to start doing with these options nonstop now. And now that I understand them pretty well, I think. I have a pretty good idea after doing it for a good month now and really just catching some crazy profits. And like I said, I'm just kind of messing around. And I was barely trading with not much money and watching my account go crazy. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So yeah, now I'm gonna really start trading much heavier. I kind of started to a little bit, but like I said, I'll show everybody my little method. And I'm not a financial guy, and obviously you guys know it, but I'll just show you what I'm into and what I kind of piqued my interest on with these options and like my little method that I have. And again, it's mainly because we can read the charts so well that we can just kind of nail them, and the percentages are astronomical because we know we're going to be in a 2 to 3 week period, and I kind of ironed it out where I got like a. I keep myself like an extra week of insurance. I explained it before. I'll do a video and everything, but I'm just saying, yeah, that's snow. I'm looking at the chart like, wow, that was perfect. And that's all we have to do is nail them things perfect each day or even a couple days a week. And you're cruising. I mean, if, yeah, tomorrow's going to be wild. Them SMCI options and the SMCX, holy cow, they're going to be paying money. So they're going to be pretty wild. AMD, we looked at already. Luis Rodriguez looked at, liked it, and it is curling back up. That bottom was Friday at 133. We're back at 138. So watch that bad boy because that's moving back up. AMD, QCOM, Qualcomm. This is going to be cruising back up. Oh, that one's going to be real good too. That's going to be setting up real nice. Um, moving back up and setting up. And yeah, it's going to be bouncing around between the 164, 168, could get up to 170. And it's a semiconductor, and all of them look pretty good right now, as SMI is looking much better. Speaking of PYPL, we'll do that, then SMCI. PayPal is down. It was trying to get into the top, it's pulling back. I could imagine it's going to pull back into the 82. It's at 84, and then it'll try to curl back up right there. And SMCI, we went over it already. It's way up there. It's at like $30 and it's going to get crazy, guys. And of course, and also the SMCX is the ETF 2 times long, and it's split today and for a 1 for 20, and it is up like over. It's up over 100% today. Let's put it that way. And we were looking at it this morning. Luis Rodriguez brought it up. We looked at it, and it did. It just got cruising. So I hope people got into that because tomorrow thing's going to be paying serious money right there. INTC is Intel, and this thing is setting up, guys. I think Intel's about to roll off and get wild. At least it looks like it. So keep an eye on Intel, INTC. And what's Disney up to? I honestly didn't even look at it today. I don't even know. Um, down $1.54, nothing crazy. I mean, we knew it was going from what, the 95 to or we were under that. I think we were like 94 or something. I don't remember, 94, 90 something. And we knew it was going over 100 and it went to 115. So that was an easy one. Disney, it may have, it's in the top. It might have to pull back. Oxy was setting up. It was up $1 today. And again, this thing is setting up. It's getting ready to rock and roll. So OXY is looking good. ExxonMobil was setting up too. Let me look at it again. It was up $1 and it is setting up. It looks like it did earlier, still curling up. So that one's curling up too. ExxonMobil and good old Mara and Riot. That was Mara was down. And this thing's just coming down the setup just because it ran up so much. So I'll find the bottom. We can run it back up. Same with Riot. They both needed to make some room. They ran up like crazy. MSTR, we were talking about it a little earlier, and the ETF for it. MicroStrategy was back up $44 today to 384. It's back in the top and just crazy, guys. So check out these guys with their ETFs too, because I'm telling you, you hit that thing and it goes up like that with the ETF, it just pays crazy amount. So that's MSTR MicroStrategy, CLSK, the good old Clean Spark. That's pulling back, kind of like Mara and Riot at this moment. And let's see what Coin's doing because that was way up as well. COIN up $19, and this thing's popping. And that CONL, that one's paying great money right now because that's the ETF 2 times for Coin, and that one's looking great. DJT, we went over that and that one's setting up and that's going to get flying. Once it gets back over that 34, it's getting rolling. It's at 32, maybe 31 something in the after hours, but DJT is looking good. Good old fun was back up. I think we hit our bottom right there. Could be today at what is it, 408 area. It's back to 470. And I think fun, it's been pulling back quite a bit. I think it's about to get fun again. So keep your eye on that, setting back up. MTN, good old Val Resorts, back up 15 cents, and it's getting set up to roll. Let it pull back because the 20 and 50 are going to meet up and shoot it. So that's setting up. How about McDonald's? I didn't look at it today. Down $1.53, pulling back there. Let me see real quick because that was setting up good. So this next setup's going to be perfect because it tried to do it on, what was it, Thursday, and then Friday brought it down. Today's trying to move, but not ready yet. So yeah, we're just watching McDonald's because that'll be a good setup as well. MCD. And let's see what Boeing is up to. BA was up a little bit. Not sure how, but it's curling up. Watch for it to try to get back up to the 150 area. It's at 143. And again, this company's looks like kind of bearish, to be honest with you, and it should be. Space SPCE. This one looks like it's going to go out to space really soon, guys. It looks like it wants to cross through the 20s right there. Has the hard line. It looks real good. I would say space is looking solid right there. So check that bad boy out because it looks like it could get cruising. There's a ton of room in front of it too. I mean, it could get wild. So keep an eye on that. DXYZ. This was back up today. It looks like it wants to get into the top, but again, be careful with these things. They've already ran up and they just keep bouncing back and forth. LDOS. This one's a great one. I'm just waiting for it to pull back. I was looking at it today. Maybe that bottom's at 156. And just the other day, it was at 202. So when this one's ready to curl back around, I'll be all about it. So I'll keep an eye on that. And that BITO is the Bitcoin ETF. And it looks like it's staying in the top and going to keep going. And BITI was the short Bitcoin ETF. And that looks like it wants to stay in the basement a little bit. So there you go with that list. And boom, I would say that's everything. Let me tell you what's looking good. ELAB setup, SVMH, GDHG, and TWG are all looking good, and TNXP. HAO and ABVE, ICCT all looking good. That TURG looks pretty set up, and so does BNRG. And there's bunch of other ones that are pretty set up. The Lion looks real good, LGHL, and so does TTOO. And then on laptops list, that AIHS and DPRO looks real good. EDTK, EFSH is curling up there. IVDA is looking great. And that SOND is curling up, and NRXP, so many others. I'll shoot out my list. A bunch of other ones are setting up. Let me take a look at the messages, see what we see, and I'll go through the scanner real quick and see what's going on right there. So let me make sure. I saw Jennifer Lee posted one. I just happened to see it fly up when I was looking. I don't know what it was. I just saw her name. So let me look. BK wants to see FFIE. So let's look at that bad boy real quick. That's up 2 cents today. And it did get down into the basement. I remember we were looking at it. I think it might actually be ready now. FFIE. I might have to take a look at this bad boy. This was my big runner. And the 20's what, $1.81. It's at $1.28. It is curling back up off that MACD, and it looks like it wants to get back out of the basement right there, BK. So I'll definitely have to look at that in the morning for sure. And missed the chat. K missed the chat on SMCI, and then look at ALAB. We'll look at that, and then SMCI is going to be exciting tomorrow. That's all you need to know about that. It's going to be wild, and I know a bunch of people got in some options Friday. I was looking at it, and like I said, that chart was way too good for them not to. I was saying they'll probably make the compliance and end up saying that they have an auditor, and they did both of them. And you're going to see that bad boy move tomorrow. And like I was saying, that SMCX, that option is going to be paying money tomorrow. It's going to look like a cash register, and it's just going to be wild. So that's SMCX, and it is going to be a great day, and I'll be going over it first thing in the pre-market show as well. But let's look at this one, K, which was ALAB, Asteria Labs. And it looks like it was crossing down, but trying to come back up there. And it was in the top for a while there, and now it's coming back out, but looks like it wants to get back to the top. I would assume it's going to run back up to that $100 area. It's at 90 right now. And but just watch it. It's curling back up. It looks like it's going to hit that top line. I can look at it in the morning. I think it's going to get through that line, get back into the $100 area, and then you'll have to reevaluate it at that point. But it does look like it wants to kind of move. It's a semiconductor company too, so yeah, not looking bad right there. And SQ and BABA for Jennifer Lee. I think we did SQ. We definitely did that. It was running up there. I think you have a solid momentum play right there on SQ. And as a matter of fact, I probably marked that as a momentum play. I don't remember where it's at on the list, but I know we looked at it, and yeah, SQ is looking solid to keep continuing up in the top right there in the morning. And the other one was BABA. That's a good one too. And that's upset. Oh, that was way down, huh? Yeah, we got to keep an eye on this. When was their earnings? On the 15th on Friday? Oh, yeah, we're keeping an eye on this. We're going to add that right here. BA, and we know we can definitely look at that bad boy. Oh, let me type it in right. BA. There we go. And yeah, it's gonna start getting set up. And this one's gonna be good. This is like the China Amazon. And it'll be cruising. It's gonna be it's down there, and I think that's bottomed out and gonna get rolling there, Jennifer Lee. I think that one's gonna be solid right there. And AZI, we did that guy, and it does look pretty let me look. I forget. Well, yeah, it's definitely rolling up and going up more tomorrow. I was saying, look at it to get up into it could run up into the threes, like the 315, 320 area, and then look for it. So yeah, I think AZI gets moving tomorrow. Did I not mention that one? It should have an asterisk because we went through that, and it looks really good for tomorrow. Yeah, and I wrote a momentum play on that one, but yeah, that looks good. AZI. Um, Uber, let's look at that. What are they up to? Let's see what Uber's doing. UBER. Oh, that's dipping really nice. We'll watch for that bottom. It could have been the bottom today, but let me just make sure tomorrow. It could pull back a little bit more right there, Jennifer Lee. So we'll make sure we look at that Uber, and that'll be a good one. DXCM for Luis Rodriguez. You already know it's going to be going up tomorrow. I might as well not even look at it and just say it's going up. But no, it's at 76.27. It was up 39 cents. 76.01 came back in the after hours. Let's look at it. DXCM. It almost looks like it might pull back a little bit to me, maybe trying to make a base. I'd have to look at this one in the morning, Luis Rodriguez. If you remind me in the morning, I will definitely look at DXCM. I can even write it down right here, DXCM, and take a look at it for you. I just can't get a really good idea of what it wants to do. It could go either way, to be honest. ALGS, let's look at that one. ALGS. This one's in the top. It looks like it wants to roll up there, Jennifer Lee, and go a little higher, ALGS. But just be careful. That one's got to be a quick one because it's way up there and you're going to catch your momentum. It does look like it's going to have that momentum in the morning, but just be careful because, again, up at the top, you don't want to get caught on that one if they're coming down. But it does look like you're going to catch a quick run up early for it. So watch that as a momentum play up there. It does look pretty healthy to try to keep rolling up there. And again, just make it a quick one. I don't want you getting caught on that one. It is up there, ALGS. So there you go. And let me see what else we're looking at. What I just do. I don't even know, but hold on. Let me see. I just did something. Um, heck am I doing? All right, let me see. I have no idea. I was just looking at messages and then I don't know. I hit the that's why I hit the wrong button. There we go. All right, ALGS, SMCI, we looked at MSTR, MSTU, fasten your seatbelts tomorrow, Luis Rodriguez. I agree with you on that one too, because MicroStrategy is looking all crazy and Bitcoin wants to go higher, so yeah, they're just wild right now. And IOVA has cheap options. That's nice because a lot of these cheap ones don't. Well, this is at 843 and it's going to go rolling back up, guys. So that one's a good one to look at, IOVA. And NVIDIA earnings mentioned on Wednesday may also give a big boost to SMCI. I agree 100%. If SMCI even mention or if NVIDIA even mentions SMCI or anything, you know it's going to go wild. And they already just announced the news that they have the auditor and everything else. Of course they were going to be compliant. Did anyone think that NVIDIA as a company was going to let that company become compliant? That's what I was saying. Unlike NVIDIA would probably be like, yo, do you need our lawyers, our team? What do you need over there? Like, what the hell's going on? Get your shit together. If you need our help, tell us and we'll get it together. Like, they were one of their biggest purchasers. I mean, it's just not, you just don't let a company like that just go fall off a cliff. So, it's not like you're talking about like a tiny little store, like a mom and pop shop. So it was kind of a big deal. I just couldn't see it happening there. So, there you go with that bad boy. And let me just keep looking. I don't think I see anything else. I think I got everything. You're welcome, Jennifer Lee. Anytime, you know that. And I think I got all them. Let's look at stock twits real quick, see what's happening and trending real fast. Um, Obviously, SMCI, HBAR, BKKT, PARA, the Walmart, WMT, AVT is a coin, NCT is a coin, XTZ is a coin, Tezos, I know that one. That one went flying up today. NVIDIA is down, and SMCX is trending there, and that's the SMCI ETF right there. Boom, there you go, Luis Rodriguez hitting a trender right there, didn't you? And trending on stock twits. Let me just take a quick peek at the scanner real quick at the most active ones anyway. Because oh yeah, I wanted to add this one. I forgot Apollo mics or whatever it's called, APLM. We were all over this. This ran up over 100% today. I forgot. So there you go. There's so many of them we don't even remember them all. ELAB tomorrow. Keep an eye on it. What's that? ATCH not looking too bad right there. Let me take a quick look at it. see what's happening with that. Looks like it was trying to curl up. Keep an eye on that. That could be moving in the morning. ATCH, AKTS, that got rolling, huh, guys? I didn't even notice. Up 26%. Oh, this one got cruising from 6 cents to 13. That ran up pretty significantly today. AKTS, we were just all over that one too. 6 cents to 14. There you go. There's another one that went. I'm telling you, there's just so many of them. You can't even keep track. SVMH looking good. Obviously, SMCI. I think we already covered everything. I mean, we're on point. Oh, Lucid, that one's getting ready to rock and roll. I meant to add that. Here you go. LCID, add that back to the list because that's looking great. I meant to put that on there and it's curling up. So there you go. LCID. I'm telling you, XTIA might be a little pullback, nothing crazy. That UAVS. That looks like it wants to keep rolling. I meant to go over this the other day. Someone asked about it. It is trying to curl back up. It jumped up today. What? It opened 469 to 522 and came back into the threes. So I'll look at it tomorrow and see what it wants to do. And let's see. That IONQ came dipping down. And I think that's about it right there. I think everything else we kind of looked at or have seen it. Apple, Uber, we did. And boom, there you go. I would say that's a pretty good show right there. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out and sending in great ones. Laptop Travel, as always, and K, Little Iron Man, Eileen, RD, Louis Rodriguez, Low Country Profits, Jennifer Lee, Miss Magdonian, how are you? And I definitely, Cy, I guess I'll call you. Sherry's here. Bong Chan, Chief is there. NorCal Al, Jay Kratz, BK, Michael's on there. Blurred, what is that? What's that name? Blurred Lenses. Okay, that's awesome. Scott and Supret, how are you this evening? And Sean, thank you everybody for hanging out. Telling you we have a great community here. A lot of people obviously understand the market, been doing it a long time. We're getting way more into the options now. I was a big penny stock person. If you guys have followed me for a while or listened to the show, you know I've called tons and tons and tons of 100% penny stocks and 100% everything. So now we're just taking that knowledge of them stock charts because I say if you can look at them, they move so fast. If you can make really iron them down and understand when they're going to run 100% or plus and really pop. The big caps are kind of like looking at paint dry to me anyway. They move a lot slower and it's way easier, especially with a brain injury. They make it way easier. Trying to trade penny stocks is just tough. Maybe it'll get a little easier. These last few years, it was virtually impossible. A, you had to be up at 4 a.m. and B, they would move. We figured out that they moved from 4 a.m. to 4:15. Once we had that nailed down for like the last 2 months, that's about all we got. And then we figured out that look. So again, it was just a crazy market. Maybe the times are going to change a little bit back to him, but I'm telling you, the last time he was in office, I mean, there was just crazy, crazy days nonstop all the time, and they were easy to see, easy to run. And I was, like I said, I was just trading stocks back then and crushing them and putting up way more money than I am with these options, and I'm hitting higher percentages and more money off of these, and it's pretty crazy. So, just a fun, exciting time. And then you have crypto popping off. So we are going to be hitting it in every way. And you guys, I think know that I show up every day. I say what's going to happen and I believe in it. And I tell you what I see. So, and if I'm wrong about it, I obviously own up to it. I tell you what I see, and that's what I see. Just like how I saw that election, there was nothing that changed my mind. I don't look at any news. I don't look at any nonsense. I call it how I see it. I leave my emotions on the side and I just give you a fair, honest look at everything. And that's how it is. And I tell you, it can change 10 minutes later. It's the market. But for the most part, in this market, now that the charts are getting back to normal, they shouldn't be as volatile as they used to be. So that'll be really nice. And yeah, I think it's just going to get really wild. And like I said, it's going to be popping for a little while, and we're going to see some downturns and some downtime. Obviously, they're going to end up cleaning house, and you're going to see the market react to it, and it's going to pull back, but it's perfectly fine because then you just ride the puts down, and you can hit the market going up, down, sideways, or every which way. It won't make a difference, and we will crush it every single time. So I'm excited about it. As you can tell, SMCI, that has me a little excited. I mean, we nailed that thing Friday. I can't wait to see what that thing looks like tomorrow. I know Luis Rodriguez, Laptop Travel, and a few others that hit me up are very excited to see what SMCI's uh, um, options are looking like tomorrow. Because options you can only trade from the regular market hours. They don't even let you do them in the extended hours, not to my knowledge anyway. I don't know if Webbull does. I don't think so. But maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, it's usually just regular market hours for your options. So you don't really have to wake up early. And again, you're not doing the penny stocks. The penny stocks don't even have options. So you're mainly focused on the big caps and they move during the market. So you have that time. It's a lot easier. And like I say, those of you that aren't can't be glued to the monitor and to the market all day. A lot of us have jobs or, families doing whatever. And even I just do this and I still don't want to be glued to this thing all day. And penny stocks, you kind of have to be because you got to be able to hit that sell button. We're already have them set up to sell and not worry about if they go higher. And I do that sometimes, but again, the market was just so crazy before it was even tough to do that. I couldn't see where they wanted to go to, and it just wasn't worth it. And that's when I really got into doing this, and I'm glad I did because it's definitely going to be way better, I can tell. So there you go, little story time at the end to tell you which way we're going in our direction. Again, I try to see things 3 months out, and you can see it's going to be popping. And towards the end of them 3 months, you could see some. I would say maybe February, March, April, we might see a little downtime, and people are going to be losing their mind because he's just going to start his presidency, and then we might see a little pullback. It's not going to be anything bad. It's probably going to be great for the country because it means that they're basically cutting a bunch of nonsense out and might get the deficit down and get the country actually running back to normal. And again, these charts they weren't running normal. You could tell now they're reacting kind of normal, and you will see a big run and you'll see it come down. It's normal. And then you're just going to see it get crazy again. So, and in that meantime, crypto is going to be going wild. You have probably a good 9 months of this run, so get involved in it because I'm telling you, you will see more millionaires made, multimillionaires made than all the dot-com bubbles and all that other nonsense basically combined, I think. So hop on board because I'm telling you, it's crazy. So there you go. That's my message for the evening. And like I say, if you're not familiar with crypto or you feel intimidated and you don't even know where to start, first thing to do is sign up for a Coinbase account if you're in the US. If you're outside the US and Canada or somewhere, you can do Binance. It's a better platform. And but our US Binance isn't as good as Coinbase is. So sign up for a Coinbase account, get that started, and it's very easy to do. If you can trade stocks, you can easily trade crypto. It's much easier, I think. And it's really not that intimidating, especially if you just mess with the bigger coins. You don't really have to get that crazy into the meme ones. And there's like a million coins, trust me. And you can play it safe with, like I said, Ripple, Solana, Bitcoin, Doge, Bonk, some of them, and you will do very well at the end of this run. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Have a great night, everybody. Wanted to make sure, look and see. Do I see SMCI going over 30 tomorrow? It was hitting 30 already in the after hours. So yeah, I think it's like 29.50 right now, SMCI. Um it's probably gonna see closer to 40, I would believe, maybe even get over that. So yeah, it's at 30.10 on mine. It's over 30 right now. And yeah, like I said, them options are going to be printing money tomorrow. It's going to be insane. I think you're going to see a lot of happy listeners tomorrow. I know I'll be pretty happy. I know already they were up big time today just because we got them on Friday. And I mean, if you got the SMCX early enough too, that just started jumping up later. But I mean, SMCI, if you had gotten that option on Friday when we were talking about it, they were way up today. And clearly they're going to be up tenfolds tomorrow because it jumped up even way bigger in the after hours. So there you go. And again, any questions, shoot me a message, let me know. I answer everybody, and just drop a comment or whatever. But if you need something, let us know. And thanks again, everybody, for hanging out. I always enjoy it. I hope you guys do. And there you go. I'll be back at 7 a.m. for our pre-market show, and let's see E-Lab start popping. And I'm excited for SMCI and so many other ones. Even Apple, I got a bunch of options on that were way up today. So it's getting exciting. I'm getting way into it, and I'm going to obviously I try to pass my experiences along to everybody, and I know a lot of you has been asking me about these options. Even my friends have been asking me personally because they see what I've been doing, and I kind of been telling them. And again, I was one that just traded straight stocks before, didn't really understand the options, and I totally wish I did. I really wish I understood them before, because I look back and go, holy cow, the amount of money. I mean, like I said, I live a very blessed life. I'll never complain, and it's about to get real crazy. But if I had been trading options the last few years, it could have been like really, really crazy. And again, I'm not complaining one bit. It doesn't, you're not going to hear me ever be mad about a red day, a green day, or ever anything else. And I walk through life. You got to smile, be happy with what gets thrown at you. Things happen for a reason. Clearly, I traded stocks for a reason. I got hit in the head pretty good. That happened for a reason. And now we're getting into options, and it's way better. And I have a good feeling I'll be doing Forex and futures very well soon too, because everybody kind of said that's the direction to get into if you really want to make crazy money. Apparently the fees are way lower and things of that nature. So laptop travel saying 100%, and a couple other people have been recently telling me that I definitely believe. So yeah, we'll probably end up into that. But right now, let's crush the markets, crypto, and the stock market with options and everything else. Why it's moving, and then the futures we'll get into. Like I say, just give me anything with a chart, whether it's an election, anything, boxing match. I don't even care what it is. If there's a chart that's moving, I'm in. So futures, same exact charts. I already know that. I've looked at them. I can pick them very easily, and they seem like they're even slower than the big caps to me. So I'll we'll start looking into that. But again, I want to master this and really crush it because options are fun. So there you go. Thanks again, everybody. Any questions, just let me know. And I will see you guys at 7 a.m. for pre-market. So have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you guys in the morning.